Hello, children. Welcome to the second part of the chapter. Let's start with the story and then we'll discuss the question and answer. Okay, children. Before we uh, start the second part of the story, let's discuss the first part. Let's have a review. In the first part, what happened? The seed was telling its story about the Damji Bhai and Hasmukh. The seed was telling the story because the seed was little disappointed. The farmer's son Hasmukh bought new seeds from the market and started farming with those seeds, and old seeds left over. Now what happened next? Let's see. More and more expenses. The next 20 years saw even more changes. Without cow and buffaloes, there was no cow dung to be used in the fields as fertilizers. Hasmukh had to buy expensive fertilizer. The new kinds of seeds were such that the crops were easily affected by harmful insects. Now the seed was comparing with the old seeds. Before, they were putting neem leaves as it was get protected from the insects. Nowadays, when the Hasmukh used to buy all the new kinds of seeds, it's easily get affected by the harmful insects. Medicines had to be sprayed on the crops to keep away the insects. Oh, what a bad smell these had. Yes, nowadays fertilizers they smell very bad. And how expensive they were. Smelling bad and expensive? Oh my god. The canal water was not enough for the new crop. There are such challenges the new crops and Hasmukh was facing. Who was telling the story? The seed, the Bajra seed was telling all the story. That nowadays medicines had to be sprayed on the crops. But still, there was a very bad smell and the fertilizers were very expensive. Now let's see what happens next. And all the farmers used pumps to lift water from deep under the ground to meet all these expenses. Loans had to be taken from the bank. Now, whatever little profit was made was used to repay the loan. But there was a little profit. Everyone was growing cotton, so the cotton prices were not as high as before. The soil itself was no longer the same. Growing the same crop over and over and using so many chemicals had affected the soil so much that now nothing could grow well there. Now, children, let's go and understand what has happened actually. What was the seed was telling? The seed was telling now there were a little profit was made. What happened with that little profit? They used to repay the loan. Now, children, you know, we need to, if we have taken a loan from the bank or from somebody, we need to repay it. We need to pay on time. Yes, it is very necessary. But there was a little profit. The seed was telling that the profit was not too much as expected. And everyone started growing cotton and the crop was not the same as before, and also using so many chemicals has affected the soil much that now nothing could grow well there. See, If you will use a thing again and again and again, it will be spoiled, or the result will be not that good. It was becoming difficult to earn a living by farming alone. Hasmukh too changed with the times. He is often tensed and angry most of the time. His educated son Paresh did not want to do farming. Yes, Hasmukh had a son too, and he does not want to do farming. He now started work as a truck driver. What he was doing? He was working as a truck driver. After all, the bank loans still had to be repaid. After working so much, after doing so many things, but still the bank loan is still there. They need to repay the loan. Now what happened? Often Paresh doesn't come home for days. At times he's away for a week. 2 days back, when he came home, Paresh started looking for something. Like we look at home for something, we need to find something. So Paresh started looking for something. He was looking for something. He asked his mother, "Where is Dadaji's wooden seat box? It will be useful to keep the screws and tools for the truck." Now, do you understand why I told you my story? Oh, no. I'm not asking you this question. The seed is telling you this question. Now, do you understand why I told you my story? No, because children, the seed was disappointed. The seed was left alone in the box, and nobody asked the box, where is the box? Why the box is lying? What happened to the seed? Nothing. But one day, when Paresh asked for the wooden box, he did not ask for the seeds. He asked for the wooden box to use to keep the tools. So, did you understand why the seed was telling the story? Yes. Because of the new seeds, the old seeds were forgotten. And what happened next? They were left alone. Now the wooden box will be used as a toolbox. Now children, let's discuss and write this question answers. Okay, my first question is, what can happen to Hasmukh's farm after some years? Can you answer this question? Okay, let me answer this question for you. As there was a lot of loss to Hasmukh's due to farming, and it had become difficult for him to repay the bank loans. Thus, it seems after some years, there would not be agriculture activity on his farms. Yes, children, what we have learned that soil on which excessive chemicals have been used, it might not be able to grow crops from it. Again, using so much of chemicals on the soil might not give the crops that it used to do earlier. Now the next question is, Damji Bhai's son Hasmukh chose to become a farmer like his father. Hasmukh's son Paresh is not a farmer but a truck driver. Why would he have done so? Could you answer this question? Okay, let me answer and explain you too. Now, Paresh observed that his father was in great loss. Even the bank loans were yet to be repaid. After working so hard, there was not enough money to repay to the bank. Also, farming had become very expensive. How expensive, children? We have learned that seeds, fertilizers, and plowing with the tractors is becoming very expensive. So the farming had become very expensive. Therefore, in order to repay the bank loans and earn better, he started working as a truck driver. He thought being a truck driver, he can earn more money and can repay the loans of his fathers. Now, the next question is, the seeds were not sure that what Hasmukh was talking about was really progress. What do you feel? The question is, the seeds were not sure that what Hasmukh was talking about was really progress. What do you feel? Okay, children, here is the answer. All new methods that were adopted by Hasmukh actually resulted in his downfall. How? Let's see how. He bought new varieties of seeds which were easily affected by harmful insects. He bought expensive fertilizers and medicines for the crops, which were given of a bad smell and also affecting the soil texture. He grew only those crops which could be sold in the market to gain more money. But since all the farmers started this, the prices of these crops went down under the earth. Now, when everybody will start the same thing, of course, the demand of that things comes down. Since all the farmers did the same, the water level was going down. Yes, every time all the farmers using the water, they were digging the soil, they were using the chemicals, they were using the fertilizers, and not to forget, we heard in the story that the new crops the water was used in the new crops were very much more than the old crops. Yes, the old crops used to had little amount of water, but the new crops had a large amount of water was used on the new crops. Now, since all the farmers did the same, the water level was going down. Now, children, imagine there is a tub. If everyone will use a mug of water from it, so what will happen to the tub of water? Yes, the water will come down or the water will finish. Now, generally, there was so much loan to be repaid by him to the banks that even his son to quit farming and work as a truck driver only to repay the loans. What we understand from this? Paresh thought that if I will do farming, there will be very low profit. Now, if he will go ahead and do other work, he can earn more money from it. So what he thought? He thought that I will not do farming. I will work as a truck driver only to repay the loans. Therefore, his farming work was not flourishing. Rather, it was coming to an end, and this is not progress. So what happened? After all, he could not afford afford the fertilizers, the new crops, the tractors, and so on. It was so much expensive. It was so expensive that he cannot repay the loan properly too. So his idea came to an end, and it was not progress. Now, children, now next question is, have there been any changes near your area which may be difficult to call progress? What changes are these? What are the different opinions about them? Now let's see the answer. What is the answer? Yes, there have been many changes around my area which have been done for progress, but there are some losses associated with them, due to which it is difficult to call them progress. Now let's see what are the difficult that has been faced. For example, number one, increased transportation has made it easier to reach a far off places, but it results in a lot of pollution which causes serious health problems. Children, don't be affected from the smoke of the buses, from the smoke of the cars? Yes, the black smoke affected our lungs too. Now, second one, a lot of electric machines and equipment have been made for many household works such as washing clothes, cutting vegetables, cleaning the house, and etc. These help us to finish our work in less time and does not require such labor. Now, go to your grandmother's era or ask your grandmothers how they used to wash the clothes, how they used to cut the vegetables, how they used to clean the houses. They will let you know. They used to wash their clothes by the hand. They used to cut the vegetables with a knife. Yes, nowadays we got chopper which can chop our vegetables. Even a washing machine which we can put the clothes and the clothes will get washed and dry too. And for cleaning the houses, we have a vacuum cleaner to clean the houses. So what happens if we use this? These help us to finish our work in less time and does not require such labor. What happens if we want work that physically? This can cause obesity, joint problems, because these do not follow to do any physical exercises and also make us lethargic. Now, third one, with the help of computers, many time-consuming jobs can be finished in very short time. But this has taken the jobs of many people. Yes, children, even the computers can make your work easy. It takes a lot of jobs of the people. Now, let's see out some work for you. I have some work for you. Yes, some project work. Now, read a report from a newspaper and discuss it. That is a work for you. Now, the next one is, what questions come to your mind about farmers and farming? And write some questions in your group and ask a farmer. For example, how many crops they grow in a year? Now, children, let me give you some example on it. Like, what questions do come to your mind about farmers and farming? Like, when you see a farmer, what questions will come? How many hours you work in the field? Or what are the field works you do that make you physically tired? What are the crops you grow in the field? Yes, you should discuss with a farmer. Or if you want to see a farmer, not an issue, children. You can discuss with your friends, you can discuss with your teacher, you can discuss with your parents. You can act as a farmer and you can ask them to ask you questions. It will be really fun. Try doing it. Now, the next question will be, which crop needs how much water? Visit a farm near your area. Observe and talk to the people there and write a report. For example, children, in a farm, you can see crops are growing. In the farm, you can see vegetables are growing. Even people, nowadays, people have adopted this culture, buying a farmhouse. Why they buy a farmhouse? Interesting. Because they want to plant so many trees like mango trees, neem trees, the wood trees. They are very big. But cities, the big cities doesn't have place to grow such plants. So they buy a farmhouse, they buy a big farm and they plant such trees. You can visit a farmhouse near your place and you can observe that. But what you should observe, how much water they are using in the plants. Are there any animals or not? What the animals do? Like in my friend's farmhouse, I see a cow which gives them milk. There are 4 cows. There are 10 goats. There are 15 hens. The goats roam around. Even they drink the goat's milk. And from the hens, they get the eggs too. And what else? They have pigs which plays in the mud. Interesting, right? Do observe and write it down in your notebook. Now, let's see. Journey of a bajra seed from a field to plate. Now, children, I will show you a picture. Now, you have to see the picture and you will tell what is happening in this picture. We will discuss it together. Okay? What can you see in each picture on the next page? Here is the picture. See? Okay. In picture 2, you can see the bajra cobs in the mortar, Oakley used for crushing. The cobs are crushed with a pestle, muesli. What is known as the picture in the picture 2, second picture, you can see it is known as the mortar, which is it is known as Oakley used for crushing. The cobs are crushed with a pestle. The pestle is also known as a muesli. It will be like a very big, and they used to crush the pestle and the seeds are separated from the cob. Now you can see in the picture 2, they will separate the seeds from the cobs. Now let's see what is next. Now you can see the separated seeds in picture 3. Children, see in the picture 3, you can see seeds kept on a thali. Yes. Now this work is also done by big machines. By what? Big machines like threshers. We call both these as different technologies, using our hands for big machines and to crush the seeds. Now the next question is, what technology could have been used to cut the stem in picture 1? And what do you think is being done in the grinder, chakki, in picture 4. What ways like technologies would have been used to do the work shown in picture 5 and 6? You can see that dough is ready in picture 6. When do you think a sieve, chalni, would have been used? Discuss each step in detail in any language you wish to use. Okay? Here is the help of the picture. I have answered one question for you. What you have to do? You have to help yourself. Alright? Now, children, what we have learned from the chapter. Now, let's see those questions and let's try to answer them. Now, there have been many changes over time in our food. What can this mean? Use the seed story and what you know from your elders to explain. Alright, children, here is the answer. There have been many changes in our food, such as earlier people used to eat varieties of foods like bajra, jowar, wheat, and etc. But now we are eating mainly wheat. Number 2. Earlier, the old seeds were stored and grown in the next year. Nowadays, varieties of seeds are grown and the products are quite different in taste. Number 3. Earlier, the foods were eaten in very simple forms, not very much spicy and overheated. Number 4. Earlier, the traditional methods of irrigation, plowing and etc. were used, whereas nowadays new methods of irrigation, plowing are being used. See, these are the answers. Now, what is the next question for us? What would happen if all the farmers were used to only one kind of seed and grow only one kind of crop? What will happen, children? Okay, here is the answer. If all the farmers will grow only one kind of seeds and crops, the price for these seeds and crops would fall and there would be no profit to the farmers. Moreover, growing same kind of seeds and crop on the same land will extract the same minerals from the soil each time, and as a result the soil will be deprived of these minerals. Yes, there will be no such minerals left in the soils. Alright, children, here we have discussed all the question and answers, and don't forget to make the report that I have given to you. Make a very nice report and show it to your friends and parents and your teachers. Now, what's next? Next is the difficult words meaning. Let's see what are the difficult words that we have find out from this story. Here are the meanings of the new words. The first one is generation. What is the meaning of the generation? All of the people born living at about the same time regarded collectively, like your grandmother, your grandfather, your mom, dad, and you. So, generation. Coated. What is its meaning? Provide with a layer or covering of something. Harvested. Haven't we heard this word? Yes, we have heard this word. Harvested means gather, or as a harvest, gather all the crops. Like farmers go to the field to harvest crop, to gather the crop. Fertilizer. Haven't we heard this word a lot of time? Yes. Fertilizer means a chemical or natural substance added to soil or land to increase its fertility. The next one is expenses. What is expenses? The cost incurred in or required for something. Now that's it for today. Thank you, children, for listening to this story.